Hi there, I'm Andrea Koppel, and it's time for coffee, the podcast where you get to hear firsthand what the jobs and careers that interest you the most are really like. Hey there, Java junkies. Welcome to another K-Cup mini episode of Time for Coffee. By the way, K-Cups come in 3 sizes, single, double, and triple shots, or roughly 1 minute, 5 minutes, or 10 minutes in length. So if you don't have time to throw back an entire caffeinated career conversation, these K-Cup mini episodes of T4C can give you a quick caffeinated fix, whether you're on the go or you only have a few minutes to binge. So grab your mug and take a chug, because it's time for a caffeinated career double shot K-Cup with my guest, Ronnie Gyani. 2 final questions, Ronnie. And these are questions I try to ask all Time for Coffee guests. If you could share a time in your professional life when you struggled, and by struggle, I mean maybe you failed at something, maybe you got fired, maybe you really screwed up something. But the most important thing here in this story isn't the failure, but rather how you persevered and whether there was a lesson that you took away from that experience.
So I can touch on, outside of my day job over the past 10 years, I started a couple small businesses that have really transformed a lot of different things, my skill set, my experiences. And that is that about 10 years ago, a little bit over 10, I started opening up small convenience stores for small business operators, where I basically help them through the application process through 5 to 6 different government municipalities. And then I helped family members do it as well. And I literally think I failed at 70 plus applications before I got an actual approval. And I remember after failing at maybe 40 to 50 applications, I was so discouraged. I was so beat up. I was so annoyed until one day a light bulb went off and I said, you know, what I learned that didn't work in those 40, 50, 60 applications thus far is knowledge that is now gold going forward should I pursue this business for myself, for my family, and for others. And I started writing down and jotting down each failure notice I received, what the reason was. And that became my bank of knowledge that I was planning on cashing in on in the future. And I did in some way, shape, or form. I've either been a seed investor or partner or advisor or representative for maybe, 20 to 30 to 50 locations now, of which 12 I've played a key role in now, that are all located across Manhattan, Queens, and Brooklyn.
And what was the big takeaway, the lesson?
The lesson was that I wasn't failing. I was learning. It wasn't working yet. Those were the lessons.
Oh my God. When I was a journalist, Ronnie, in my first career, that would have been like the money soundbite right there. That would have been like, oh my God, that's the little bells in my head are going off. Amazing, amazing advice. Final question. If you could go back to Baruch and do it all over again, but based on the wisdom you have now, what advice would you give yourself?
I would say take on more you can handle.
That says a lot coming from the guy who was working full time 7 days a week while he was in school.
Yeah, even though I did that, I feel like now when you having the blessing and opportunity to have a family, children, wife, a home, I'm just so blessed beyond belief. I have more than I deserve. And I truly feel that. And I go through my gratitude daily and try to remind myself to ground myself. And I still feel that when you have your youth, you have your health, you have your energy, there is literally nothing that can stop you. literally nothing if you put your mind to it. And even as you grow, but life's responsibilities make it more challenging, where there is more limited time. There is still other limits that will get in your way that you don't have in your, let's say, teenage years or 20s or even early 30s. So even though I was doing all that, I still feel I would tell myself, take on more, you can handle it, because I truly feel we all can if we choose to take that route.
Thanks for tuning in to this K-Cup mini episode of Time for Coffee. If you want to listen to our entire caffeinated career conversation, please check out the show notes for this episode. Thanks so much for listening to Time for Coffee, where the professionals in the jobs that most interest you always have time to grab coffee 24/7, no matter where you live. I have one quick favor to ask you. Remember to rate, review, and subscribe to Time for Coffee. Thanks so much.